Another useful drill you can do to develop an athlete's great starting ability is called the bullet belt. Now on the bullet belt they have a measuring tape already taped in or sewn into the belt itself. And so what we do is we have a belt around the athlete with a Velcro tail here, and I can simply start the athlete. In this case I'm going to start him very light to get the feeling of it, make sure the Velcro's down, and then make sure that the other side gets Velcroed easily in place. Now the Velcro, it'll break, it's all or nothing. You cannot slowly break out of it. So what an athlete is either explosive or they're not explosive. Now this time I'm going to crank the Velcro up a little bit. I gave him a feel of what it's going to be like. So we're going to put the Velcro back on, and I'm going to crank it up to about an 8 here. And you want to really make sure you get the Velcro in good, because sometimes the bullet belt, if it gets a little bit worn, the Velcro, then it becomes easy and you get a false sense of reality of what you're actually able to do. All right, so now we're on an 8. Last time we're at a 4, and so he's going to have to really increase the power to break it to come out. Go ahead on your own then, Mike. Good. Now Mike is about a 4-3 guy on good days, 4-4 very consistently, and so he did the 8 without much problem. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to crank it up to a little bit where he isn't quite able to break it. Amount of Velcro that it takes him to break it. So 10 it wasn't quite able to do. Let's go down to about a 9. Now what I'm going to tell him is I want him to remember that feeling of what he was unable to do that time. So now he's going to have to increase the power from what he just did last time. Remember what kind of power he had to put out against that? He's got to remember that. Now he's got to increase that. And this is where we're going to get the training benefit. All right? So he knows that it wasn't successful with that other one. So now he's got to increase the amount of force. He's got to stay low. Staying low in the attitude. We call it angle and attitude, the AA battery. Angle and attitude is what it's going to take to break this Velcro. If he pops up too high, you will not be able to break this Velcro. Good. And that time you saw how Mike stayed just a little bit lower. His ki was very good. He had good knee drive, so that as he fired through, he was able to keep his balance. A lot of athletes, you'll notice that when we bring them up to the line, they'll actually explode so fast out, they're not used to handling the speed, and they'll actually belly out. If you don't have that high knee drive, you won't be able to keep your balance and your feet moving underneath of you. And that's why the wall run drill is very important to incorporate with the bullet belt. So the bullet belt's an invaluable tool of developing a very explosive start. Good, much better. All in all, if you count from where you start to where you finish up, you should be able to get the test done in about 19 steps or less. We'll have some athletes, when we run them through the dry run without giving them any explanation, we've seen it as high as 40 steps. But by cutting those number of steps down to get it right around 19 is where we find our elite athletes are at, you're going to have a very good 3-cone or L drill test. Okay, let me know when you're ready. Now we'll have Mike go through the complete test without stopping.